All right. Hello, and welcome to Ramblestream, episode number 51, with yours truly, your host, Richard Worsham, founder and designer here at Janus Motorcycles. If you are new to the Ramblestream, take a cue from the comments, which I need to pull up myself, and let us know what your name is, where you're viewing from, what kind of motorcycle or other vehicle you're riding or driving, if it's interesting at least, if it's a rambling machine. And if it's a Janus motorcycle, tell us what the model and serial number are and what its name is. That's what of late we've been talking about what the name of your motorcycle is or car. Doesn't matter, but and then last but not least, tell us what you're sipping on. So I will get started. Richard, of course, here at Janus Motorcycles in Goshen, Indiana. I am at my new desk down in our fabrication shop, which we call TT, about 5 minutes south of the main shop. What else? I ride a Halcyon 250, Janus Halcyon 250, number 68, and I'm still working on the name. Take my own advice, and I am sipping on a cold water this evening. Cheers. I think we got some good program for you all this evening. Last week we did not cover builds of the week, so this week we will have to catch up. Oh, and thank you, Kelly, for noting that the sound is good. I appreciate that. I had forgotten to ask. I'm glad it's coming through loud and clear. So let's take a look at who's on the thread. Okay, so Bob Benstead gets in first. He's our first at 5:58, an hour early. Bob is in Sturgis, South Dakota. He rides a Halcyon 450, number 230, and he's drinking cold Pepsi. Good to see you, Bob. As many of you know, Bob put us up when we were out in Sturgis last month and was an incredible host. So it's always good to see him. Hope you'll make it out this way one of these days, Bob. Maybe for the Owners Rally, which we'll be talking about a lot tonight. Perry, Justin, I seem to want to flip those. Hey, Richard, Perry from Fort Worth, Texas. Perry rides a Halcyon 250, number 884, called Oliver Hazard. Nice. That's me. Got lots of... Here we go. Kelly Chrisman. Hello. Hey to all fellow ramblers. Halcyon 450, number 236, Choctaw. He also has a Halcyon Harley Davidson 2013 Ultra, a Harley Davidson 2006 Heritage, and he's out of Winchester, Virginia, and he's sipping on his infamous Orange Crush. Scott Spence, a little closer to home, 250, number 212, and Halcyon 450, number 178 from Elkhart, just half an hour up the road. He also has a 1974 Triumph Bonneville 750, and he is sipping on Merlot. Nice. Well, Scott, I hope to be sipping on something with you this weekend down at the Owners Rally. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Nicholas G is on Halcyon 250, number 1074, Southeastern Connecticut. Good to see you, Nicholas. Tell us what you're sipping on. Joel. Hey, Joel. Old Man 1 from Kansas City. Halcyon 450, number 218, and Griffin 450, number 001. Drinking Diet Pepsi. Good to see you, Joel. Looking forward to seeing you as well. David Husky's on. Halcyon 250, 138 in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Am I pronouncing that again? No, I'm doing it right now. Sol Chelada. Nice. Anthony Beach is on. 450, number 24, Black Betty, and Triumph Scrambler 400X. Ooh, nice. I have not even seen one of those in person. That's cool. Joining from Temple, Texas, and finishing a carbonated water. Ready to ramble. Look, good to hear. Racing the Sun, the Felix brothers are on. Halcyon 450, number 120 and 121. Looking forward to the rally. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you. Kyle Stevens is on. Fort Wayne, Indiana. He has a CB350 Cafe Racer, and he's sipping on the Sierra Nevada Summerfest. Kyle will be will we be seeing you at the Owners Rally? I hope to have you up, and your family if y'all are free. Charles McGagan, Olaf from the Eastern Shore, Halcyon 250 number 454, and Griffin 450 number 4, soon, hopefully. Heading to Goshen on Wednesday, so the Tacoma is already loaded with the Phoenix 30 and Halcyon 250 63 for trade-in. Drinking iced coffee. Awesome. This is a man with many Jani in his collection. I should mention that Kyle, who commented previously, puts on Rider Rot, the show we go to locally every August, middle of August. Definitely encourage everybody next year to keep your ears to the ground for Rider Rot. It's a great show. Ben is on Halcyon 450 number 43 Poppy in San Francisco, sipping Dalwhinnie. By the way, last name is pronounced more like Ferrer. So Ben Ferrer. Okay, cool. I will try and remember that. I'm sort of catching on here. Ben Ferrer, rolling the R, Ferrer, for proper Spanish. Spanish. Got it. But here in the USA, we accept Ferrer. Nice. Harrison Monick. Ciao. Nice. Halcyon 450 number 318 in production. Mellow, or Mel for short. Hailing from Richmond, Virginia. I know that neck of the woods pretty well. Drinking a Parkway Brewing Get Bent IPA. Is a Parkway Brewing, is that a local beer? Is that from Virginia? Tell me. Sounds like it. Parkway, Blue Ridge Parkway. Gary Smith, hello from East Lansing, Michigan. Halcyon 50, number 11. Halcyon 250, number 79. Halcyon 450, number 3. Phoenix 250, number 79. Sipping on a Dr. Pepper and cream soda, zero sugar. Another fine collection of machines that will, I think you're going to have, Gary was down last week, and I think you said you were bringing the 250 and the 450 down, or are you bringing more down? You got to bring the 50 down. Looking forward to seeing you, Gary. Keith Haywood, Halcyon number 706 in New York. Water tonight. Well, me too. Cheers. Kelly says, awesome. Another Virginia native. Welcome to the club, Harrison. Awesome. Kurt Wise, hello from Kelowna, Iowa. Halcyon 250 number 487. Nothing to drink at the moment, but munching on some peanut M&Ms. Nice. Looking forward to seeing everyone this weekend. Kurt, you're going to be here. Great. Well, I am looking forward to seeing you all as well. Lawrence Ray, David Bowen and Lawrence Ray checking in. Currently 80 miles an hour headed east. Destination Goshen. Wish us luck. Fantastic. Well, David and Lawrence, we're really looking forward to having you. We wish you a safe journey all the way. They're coming in from the West Coast. So in case I didn't say anything about it, I think I did mention it, but for those of you who are watching who maybe are not a Janus owner or out of the loop, this weekend we are having our owners rally. So owners from around the country are making their way to Goshen, Indiana for their annual pilgrimage to the origin of their motorcycles, to hang out with other owners primarily, to hang out with us, the builders, to enjoy food, fellowship, and good music, and just fun times. And riding. We're going to do a lot of riding. And we're going to do a live, well, they're always live, but we're going to do a Ramblestream with whoever wants to be on it. We're going to have a big one. I got to figure out the program, although I don't really do a good job with programs, as you can tell. So we'll see. Maybe we'll just be bantering the entire time. Anyway, safe travels, Lawrence and David. Mick Langford is in Winchester, Virginia. Halcyon 250, number 1093. Thank you again, Kelly. Mick says, by the way, sipping rum, Coke, and ginger. Nice. Perry says, based on your drink of choice last week, I'm enjoying Evan Williams. Nice. Very good. It's a solid bourbon. It's a solid bourbon. It's not the most expensive, but it's good. I have been drinking Evan Williams since before I was legally able to buy it. Let's just say that. Confed Yank, howdy from North Carolina. My only bike is a 100th anniversary Road King, sipping on some off-brand Coke. Nice. Good to see you, my friend. Semtech 57, John V here, and hello from smoky Southern California. It's been sunset here all day. I'm between the line fire and the bridge fire in a town called Rancho Cucamonga. I'm having an ice cold 7-Up. Well, I hope that you and your friends and family are safe and that the fires are contained or addressed in a timely manner. I know that that's a major threat out there, so stay safe. And good to see you here on the stream. Whit Lindstrom, good evening from Charleston, South Carolina. Halcyon 450, old number 277, sipping on some iced tea. Nice. Gary says, hey, Richard, it was great seeing you last week. Can't wait to spend more time at Janus HQ this Friday. Well, likewise, Gary. I'm really looking forward to it. It's always a really busy weekend for us, and so it's kind of exhausting, but we all look forward to it. Really looking forward to entertaining everyone and spending time with you all. 7 Fish. I do not recognize this. I always enjoy the new builds. I hope you show the gray and maroon 450 from YouTube Shorts. Awesome. Well, this just goes to show that there are people on here that don't comment on every stream, and so when I see a new comment, it's nice. If you're a lurker, that's totally fine here. If you would like to drop a comment, would love to have you sign in and just, you don't have to say anything pithy or wise, obviously, because I'm not doing that either. But sign in and tell us where you're viewing from, the spiel. I don't think, 7 Fish, that I have that gray and maroon 450 in the last 2 weeks builds of the week, unfortunately. Grant Longenbaugh's on. Hey, Grant. Rowan's on. Hello, Richard and fellow Ramblers. Rowan and Origin 1 checking in from Central Tennessee, sipping on a cran grape over ice. Well, this is another West Coaster that's made his way out to the well, you can't really call Tennessee in the Midwest, but made his way out to our neck of the woods, and will be joining us for the rally. So we're looking forward to it. Hope you're having a good time down there, Rowan. Larry Favalora's on. Larry Favalora here from Howe, Indiana, which is just a little bit east of us. Car only for now. Will be a Janus owner soon. Awesome. What kind of car are you driving, Larry? You got that? Did you have a Porsche, I think? At one point, at least. He's sipping on a decent red. Nice. Awesome. Good to have you on, Larry. That's fantastic. Travis Johnson here, currently riding a Honda 750 Shadow Aero, awaiting a Halcyon 1109, having a bit of Boda-Box Pinot Grigio. Very nice. Hey, Jeremy. Hello, all. Jeremy from Santa Cruz, Halcyon 450 number 214, drinking horrible hospital coffee. Well, good to see you, Jeremy. Jeremy is another owner who's been so gracious as to put us up in our travels out in Santa Cruz. Actually, Jeremy, we were just on a podcast this morning with a fellow Santa Cruzer, the same guy who we met up with when we were out there visiting you, Christopher Lockhead, and we're going to be on his podcast in the coming months. I actually don't know when, but we had a wonderful conversation with another Santa Cruzer. Is that what you all go by? Santa Cruzers? Santa Cruzites? Pete Dutch. Some people say I can buy a Royal Enfield for much less than a January bike. They don't get the point. I don't know if you meant to say January bike, but it's perfectly fitting because January is named after Janus. So I like it. Perfect. Mark Herschel, Jackson, California, Halcyon 450 number 232. Good to see you. Jeremy says the office background has changed. There's a story there. What did I miss? Yes, I have moved. If you haven't been on some of the streams lately, they've kicked me out of the of HQ, and I am down at our fabrication shop called TT, and I am in an old paint booth. So at least I can have air conditioning. I know it's actually quite nice. I can store all my stuff down here, and it's going to take a little bit to kind of. Actually, if you can see over here, I haven't even unpacked all my stuff yet. So I have been on the road a lot. I will be back on the road a lot in the coming weeks. So eventually here I'll get settled in, and it'll look a little more like what you're used to. Okay, we're going to take a pause for a minute here, and we're going to read some poetry. Word on the street is that my old literature teacher or poetry teacher might be watching tonight, Miss Bonifield. So, Miss Bonifield, if you are watching, I've selected this thinking of you. Actually, Miss Bonifield will recognize this book. This is the same book I used in her class 19 years ago, 18 years ago. But seeing as this weekend was, I turned 40 over the weekend. So I've been enjoying good sailing. I'll talk a little bit later in it, but I was trying to think of a good poem that would be good to read. And I decided not to begin the Divine Comedy with midway through the journey of my life, I found myself in a dark wood. Instead, we're going to read a poem by Dylan Thomas. One of my absolute favorites, and a poem that we studied together with Miss Bonifield. So this one is called The Force That Threw the Green Fuse. And it's a good one. The force that through the green fuse drives the flower, drives my green age, that blasts the roots of trees is my destroyer. And I am dumb to tell the crooked rose, my youth is bent by the same wintry fever. The force that drives the water through the rocks drives my red blood, that dries the mouthing streams turns mine to wax. And I am dumb to mouth unto my veins how at the mountain spring the same mouth sucks. The hand that whirls the water in the pool stirs the quicksand, that ropes the blowing wind hauls my shroud sail. And I am dumb to tell the hanging man how of my clay is made the hangman's lime. The lips of time leach to the fountainhead, love drips and gathers, but the fallen blood shall calm her sores. And I am dumb to tell a weather's wind how time is ticked to heaven round the stars. And I am dumb to tell the lover's tomb how at my sheet goes the same crooked worm. Very good one. Oop, my book's falling apart. A lot of the ones I read are out of that Understanding Poetry, Cleanth Brooks and Robert Penn Warren, who we've also read some of their poetry. Although I don't think I've done a Cleanth Brooks poem. We have done a Robert Penn Warren already. Okay, back to some comments here. We got Harrison says Parkway Brewing is nearby. It's in Salem. Nice. Last name. Oh, it's a last name. Okay. Well, I grew up, Harrison, in Blacksburg. Or between Blacksburg and Christiansburg. So I know Salem very well. It's just down the valley from us. He says last name pronounced Minnick. Oh, there we go. So Harrison Minnick. Can do. I will try and keep all these in order since we're doing pronunciations. Oh, I gotcha. Awesome. Richard Allman says Dave Allman here Dave Allman, not Richard, in Farmington, New York, sipping on a glass of local red wine blend from the Finger Lakes area of upstate New York. I recently bought a Halcyon 450 Origin 291 a couple of weeks ago. Just waiting. Awesome. James Chadburn, good evening from somewhere north of Boston. Finished installing the carrier on the truck. Leaving for Goshen Thursday with JM 644. See you all Friday. James, we're looking forward to it. He says, just sat down, no beverage yet. Probably a Tuckerman's Pale Ale. Wonderful. Confetti Yank, let's see what happens first. Richard reads Kino's Journey, or I show up at an owner's rally on my own. Well, it's in my cart. I'll get it. I want to make sure that when the time comes, give it adequate time. I've got a long reading list, but I'll do it, Confetti Yank. If it means you buy a bike or show up at an owner's rally, I'll do it. Joshua Lewis, hello from California. Awesome. Tell us more about you. Multifarious, I am Seven Fish. I was logged in on the wrong YouTube. Oh, okay. I know who you are. Sorry for the confusion. Awesome. Larry says Porsche and an Audi TDI. I thought you had a Porsche. Fantastic. Rowan says, yes, sir. Out from Sacramento area, loving my new granddaughter and riding Tennessee. See you all this weekend. Fantastic. James says, thought that looked like a paint booth. Yes, indeed. Russell Peters, Detlef 45086, loading up for a trip to Goshen next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Be in Goshen that night. He's drinking Earl Grey. Awesome. Kelly says, happy birthday. Thank you very much. Confetti says, oh, you're older than me. Lol. I don't know if that's a joke or not. Simtex says, well, happy belated birthday. Thank you very much. Old school. Hey. He says, I remember old school Halcyon 25994, Buffalo. Fellow Ramblers, eating pizza. I did a lot of poetry and wrote some stories in college. BA English Lit and American Lit. Reading on. Nice. Good to see you, old school. Are you going to make it out for the rally this year? Andrew says, I love Richard's erudition. There we go. Chris Rahman says, Romine, here's another name I can't pronounce. Signing in from a trip out to remote Alaska from McGrath. Fantastic. Drinking a Coke and can't wait for Halcyon 112. No, 1112. The numbers are getting too high. I don't even know how to say that number. Old School says, the road currently. I be doing a display of the antique motorcycle toys at the rally. Okay, you are going to be there. I thought there was some word of that. Some over 100 years old. We have quite the program for you all at this rally. Indeed, and that was part 2. Awesome. Okay, well, I've actually managed to get through the comments. It's only 23 minutes in. We have 63 people viewing right now, and we can go. And I actually did get the builds of the week done. So let's flip over and look at some builds of the week. We have 10 because I didn't do them last week. Here we go. First up, we have Halcyon. These are bikes that have been built in the last 2 weeks or completed in the last 2 weeks. For those of you who are new to the Ramblestream. This is Halcyon 250, number 1081. For those of you who are new, you'll notice that this is a Halcyon. So this is our top selling bike. We've sold more Halcyon 250s than anything else. It's a 250cc single cylinder motorcycle. This is kind of the epitome of what Janus does. Simple, very, very simple, very, very lightweight and classic. It has carbureted. It has a single exhaust pipe, single cylinder. It doesn't get much simpler than this. All of a whopping 14 horsepower. It'll do about 65 or 70 miles an hour on the highway if you want to take it that fast. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. I think they're happiest at 45 in many ways. This bike belongs to Michael. It is the 1081st. So it seems a bit out of order, but oh no, I guess not. We're just getting up into the 1100s soon. This one's an interesting one. It's a vintage red with gold pinstripe with the classic Janus logo, and he's got an Indy 250 instead of Halcyon 250 on the airbox. He has a 450 style, or what we're now calling the Sergeant seat, so the extra comfy, larger seat in black leather. He's got a book rack on the bike, no fender pinstripe, although I don't think this is an Origin, and a fishtail brushed stainless exhaust, and a single mirror. Oh, a headlight visor. Really? Oh, knobby tires as well. And I'm noticing more and more things as I go. He has polished engine fins on this bike. Very nice. Let's see. We've got next up. This is a special. So this is the second 450 we've done with the fender skirts. This was a custom corporate, or we call this, I don't know, a corporate build. We did it for one of our sponsors and partners. They have sponsored the Flat Track team. It's called Cyberdogs. They're a marketing agency out of Minnesota, I think. Mike, if Mike's on, correct me. But we did a bike for Mike Brevik and his company Cyberdogs. This is a shot of the bike just coming off the stand, and then I think I have a better one of, there's the logo with his logo on it and the Janus logo. This one was quite a, we had this automotive painted, the side panel, and then feathered into powder coat. It's pretty challenging to get the two colors side by side. We've been working on ways to improve that. Next up, we have a stunning blue bike. This is a 450. This is number, as it says on the number plate, 303. It belongs to Thomas. And Thomas has picked our a stunning blue color with gold. Is it gold or copper? I can't tell. Almost looks like copper pinstripe, but it might be gold or copper pinstripe with a copper feather logo. The saddle brown leather, and so he's got not only the solo seat, but he's got the rear rack with a pillion seat on it. He has single fender pinstripe, bar end weights, double mirrors, number plate, headlight visor, and brushed stainless exhaust system with the frame match. So typically our motorcycles come with a black chassis and bracketry, but he's chosen to upgrade that to the matching color, which with this stunning blue really, really stands out. Well done. Well done, Thomas. Next up, we have a 450, another 450. This one is a Origin. This is 450 number 312. Belonging to another Richard. Us Richards have good taste. And this one is almost complete. Well, this is complete. It's been wrapped up. It's just off the stand. And you can see the Origin line, for those of you who are not familiar, is our sort of base line model that leaves more up to the owner to be able to add it. You can kind of start from a baseline. So we thought that the Origin name was a good way to describe that, because it's sort of like the origins of where all the extra stuff comes from. So what we've ended up with is actually a bike that I'm really excited about how they look, especially with the outline feather logo on the side of the tank here. I don't know if you can quite see that, but I can zoom in a little bit. It features an outline tank without the metallic paint inside of it. Really cool. And this is in our Aga Cream, which is probably my favorite color we do. I can't really pick one, but the Origins are some of our most simple ones, so it doesn't have any of the, although it looks like he has added a number plate, it just hasn't been painted on yet. Next up, we have lots of 450s. We have Halcyon 450 number 292. This one belongs to Eric. And Eric has decked this baby out. We have charcoal, it looks like charcoal pinstripe. Sometimes it's hard for me to see in the pictures. Charcoal pinstripe with charcoal primary color with black pinstripe, the silver feather logo, black leather. He's got the solo seat as well as the rear rack with the pillion seat, black saddlebags, brushed stainless exhaust. And he has opted, instead of the normal fenders, which you see like on this bike, he's gone for our ducktails, which have a little floop at the bottom, a little ducktail. Quite a lot of skill goes into the development of those and the manufacture of them. But since we make all of our own fenders in-house, we actually make about 20 feet that way, we can do that. This bike also features the number plate, second mirror, and that looks like, it has, and of course he has the passenger pegs on there as well. Beautiful build. Next up, it also has a fuel bottle holder on the side. You get to see that. It's on the other side of the bike. A little extra gas. Next up, we have another Halcyon 450 with ducktails. This one belongs to Anthony, and it is Halcyon 450 number 298. This one's got a lot going on. We have a vintage red color scheme with a copper classic logo. So this, it's either known as our 250 logo or our classic logo. This is the first Janus logo, and he's opted to go with that instead of the feather logo. even though this is a 450. I think it looks fantastic. Very old-fashioned looking. So that's in copper. He has a black second pinstripe outside of the first copper one, and then he's also chosen to outline the Janus logo in black. Really snappy. Ducktail fenders, as I said before. Brushed stainless exhaust. He has the saddle brown leather seat. No luggage rack on this bike, or saddlebags. At least they haven't been added in this photograph. He has the bar end weights on the ends of the handlebars. Those little machined stainless pieces. 2 mirrors, headlight visor, number plate, and a really, all goes together to make a really snappy looking bike. I really like the black and the copper contrast. And it looks good with the saddle brown as well. Okay, more bikes. We have, okay, we're back to a 250. We have Halcyon 250 number 1095, getting real close to that 1100 number. This one belongs to Kyle, and this is our we call Indy Racing Green. It's actually closer to British Racing Green. It is a great color. This is shown with, this looks like an Origin. Is it an Origin? No, but it's because he hasn't done the, he's left fender pinstripe off, but it is not an Origin. It's sideways because sometimes we have so many bikes in the shop that when they photograph them, they don't have room to get back. The room is so full of motorcycles, so I think that's why they put it in an angle like this. But single pinstripe in gold with the classic Janus logo. We have 2 mirrors. We have the sprung pillion seat, the wide line seat. All the leatherwork, of course, is in saddle brown. No saddlebags. A tool roll, though. A brushed stainless exhaust and knobby tires with the number plate. Great looking bike. Classic color scheme. Next up, we've got another 450. This is, this one is going to give Joel a run for his money with the old guy moniker. This one belongs to Garth. Garth has chosen a Aga cream with, it looks like, is that Purdue colors, black and gold, or black and copper. Looks like black and copper, actually. We have cream with a primary black pinstripe, secondary copper feather logo, saddle brown seat and saddlebags, brushed stainless exhaust system, headlight visor, custom number plate with old guy, 2 mirrors, bar end weights, and a cargo rack. Oh, and he's also got highway bars. This is a 450 with, I don't know if we've shown a whole lot with highway bars, but there they are, installed on a motorcycle. If any of y'all are curious. Oh, and he looks like he's also got a fuel bottle holder. The fuel bottle hasn't been put on yet. That's what you're seeing down here. This is a decked out 450. Oh, and these are ducktail fenders. So this is, there's not a whole lot more you can add. Oh, he's also got the tie down rings on the front forks. So yeah, this is a decked out 450. Not a whole lot of extra things you can add. Way to go, Garth. And next is an Origin. This is an Origin that's had, wait, is it really? Yeah, this is an Origin. And this is number Halcyon 450, number 294, belonging to Timothy. And it looks like what Timothy's done is he's added some things back on to an Origin. So ducktail fenders. It said it was an Origin. Maybe it isn't. Anyway, this is has the Origin style logo with the outline instead of the metallic background. Single pinstripe in gold on vintage red. Ducktail fenders with single pinstripe. Number plate with the classic with the serial number. Bar end weights on the handlebars. Saddle brown leather. No cargo rack or saddlebags, at least as of this photograph. Brushed stainless exhaust system. And overall, a really good-looking build. The ducktails on this look good. Vintage red is having a renaissance. Okay, and last but not least, we have another 450. This one belongs to Stephen, and it's number 304. This is shown in, I believe this is our Bengal silver, and it has a clear coat over it. So this is a very shiny bike. Looks really good. Has more depth to it than most of our. We like powder coat because it has a little kind of old-fashioned flat appearance. This is a little different, a little bit glossier. Silver with copper pinstripe, copper feather logo, saddle brown solo seat with the cargo rack and pillion. Of course, the passenger pegs are on there. Standard fenders, brushed stainless exhaust system, number plate, and a decked out 450. Looking really good. All right. I should mention we're at 71 people viewing the stream right now. All right. So those are the builds for the week. Now we can go and look back at some comments real quick. And then I'll talk a little bit, some news. Oh, you know what? Actually, we'll do before we look at comments. I'll just mention over the weekend, I celebrated my birthday by there's a small boat, the Dinghy Cruising Association has recently been. It's really a European organization, but they're starting some chapters in the North American chapters, and there's a Great Lakes chapter, and so we had our first mesa boat over the weekend. Sailed on Saturday. It was extremely windy, and so for small boats, it was pretty challenging conditions. I had just the mainsail up, and it was reefed, no jib, and we were doing over 5 knots into the wind. So it was gusty. A lot of fun. Of course, with these things, it reminds me of the Janus Owners Rally. It's fun to ride and to sail, but it's even in some ways more fun to meet the people behind it. And we were all camping in the same kind of campground, and people would come over to your fire and spend some time and share a drink with you and talk. And it was really interesting to hear about what people's backgrounds were. I think there were at least 2 aerospace, one guy who builds jet engines and another guy who rebuilds airplanes, or does jet plane maintenance, Ford test facility engineer, and just the list goes on of interesting characters who love to sail and who love the idea of being more exposed in a small boat, which basically I was hanging out with a bunch of ramblers, even though they weren't necessarily motorcyclists. And it was really fun to kind of bounce that idea of rambling off of these other people, even though they weren't motorcyclists. Rambling is something that is not limited to motorcycling. It's an activity that many, many, many people all over the world share, especially folks that are more independently minded and that want to do something on their own, or that want to be in control of what's going on around them. And there are a few things like motorcycling and sailing a small boat that the choices that you make have a direct impact on not only your happiness, but your life. So it was really interesting. So a couple of photographs from the trip. We were up sailing out of Muskegon, Michigan. Here's a great photograph of the lighthouse up there, just outside the harbor. And this is the kind of boats that we're sailing. We have shown here is a Sea Pearl 21 and a Core Sound is this boat in the foreground. Both of them 2-masted boats, around 20, 21 feet long. A couple of Sea Pearls. There's the Core Sound there. Good food over the fire. Some chicken we were cooking up. And then good food on the boat too. So there I am at the helm of the Mariner with a fellow motorcycle, Jesse, who you can barely see his foot there. He's done a couple of long-distance motorcycle rides with me and some long-distance sailing trips with me. And my family is down here taking the picture and preparing the charcuterie board, which must be enjoyed underway. A lot of fun. And then, of course, it's all the people, just hanging out, talking boats, or as we'll be doing this weekend, talking motorcycles and riding and whatever else that comes into our minds. A lot of fun. And just, I went to another rendezvous or sailing excursion 2 years ago, and I still keep up with the people I met there. It's even when we founded Janus, one of the things that drew me to motorcycling in general was the community of people, the camaraderie, the idea of doing it together. That's not to discount the beauty and joy one finds sailing or riding a motorcycle or walking or whatever it is, however you ramble, driving on your own. Many long distance riders choose to do so on their own. But it's always fun to kind of come back and rejoin and share that experience with other people, preferably over a nice beverage, even if it's a water. Which is why we do this. Cheers. Okay, let's look. Let me see. Is there any other pictures? No, that's it. Okay, let's look at the rest of the comments here. Let's go back to the big screen. There we go. B. Moore says, I sent a request about 046 and 316, still awaiting a reply. B. Moore. Send me an email. If you're having any trouble, you can always get a hold of me. I'm sure it's just something we're crazy busy, but send me an email, richard@janusmotorcycles.com. So just Richard, my name, at janusmotorcycles.com, and I will get you connected with whoever needs to answer your question. We are kind of transferring how we handle calls right now. So maybe some things have gotten lost in the transaction, and everybody's getting ready for the rally. Confed Yank says, I'm going to skip to the rest of your comment. I'm kind of surprised. I thought the Griffin would be more given the rear suspension. Cost more maybe? Oh, yeah, no. We're able to simplify some things with the Griffin 450. Mick Langford says, is that a 250 custom font? Is that 250 a custom font? Which one are you talking about? Let's see if I can remember which one you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about the Indy 250 one. Yeah, I think it's a custom. We do allow folks to customize. They can put their own logo on the side of the airbox. So I think that's a completely custom, if that's what you're asking about, Mick. Confed Yang says, oh yeah, we already got that one. Jeremy says, that red 250 is sick. What's different? The pipes? Something. Okay, let's go back. I'll show. Is this the one y'all are talking about? It is sick. It's got a fishtail exhaust on it, no saddlebags, which is a little different, and knobby tires. Oh, and it's got the 450 style seat, so the Sergeant seat. I don't know. I'm not sure what's different. It looks good though. Are there any more red 250s? That's got to be the one y'all are talking about, right? Yeah. That's the only one. Let's go back to it. That one. Yeah, it's a good looking bike. B. Moore says it has fishtails. Yes, that's true. Confed Yank says, Mick Lankford, that's a Janus own front suspension. Keeps it retro and in-house. Is that what you're asking? I think he's asking about the font. Maybe I'm wrong. Gary says, I brought down the 450 last week, planning on bringing down the 250 also for the rally. I don't have the ability to also bring down the 50cc. Maybe next year. Awesome. Sounds good. You should do it next year. Straw Dog 1. Hey, got in late. Hello, folks. 769 in New Hampshire. Good to see you, Straw Dog, as always. Old School says, happy another trip around the sun. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you, Richard. Ryan Allen Imbeden says, sending lots of love from Ohio. Well, thank you very much. Harrison Minnick says, rambling to a boat, my dream. Yes, absolutely. Okay, well, couple of last notes. This has been going a little faster this week, which is good. We have, as I've been mentioning a lot up until now, we have our owners rally coming this weekend. If you would like to attend, it's not too late. Tickets are available. We have a couple of options for tickets. there's like the VIP ticket, which is all the things. You get like the dinners and swag bags and T-shirts and all the stuff. But we also have a kind of get me there ticket, which is just basically covers. It's not as expensive, and you can just show up and we'll make it work for you. Tickets are available either at the event or ahead of time on the website. We've got a really fun show for you all. We've got music. We've got good, incredible food. We've got the Spanish Heritage Festival, which if you all were here last time, there's a big Spanish Heritage Festival going on. So there's lots of good food on the next street over. Although I don't think they're going to be on Main Street. They're going to be over by the mill race this year. So it won't be quite as close, but it'll still be walkable. We've got some amazing rides planned. I've been scouting some good routes. And we'll do a long ride and a short ride. We'll do a live group Ramblestream. So even if you're not able to make the rally, tune in around, I don't know, sometime this Saturday morning. I will post a link sooner than later so folks will know when it's happening. And we'll see. You'll be able to see a bunch of folks. I'll make sure that everybody calls it their handle if they're in person at the rally on the stream. And we'll all have something to sip on, even if it's 11 o'clock in the morning. It's a rally. Let's see, what else? We have inventory bikes available on the website. If you're looking to get a bike sooner than later, we have some really awesome 450s available that are in inventory. And we have some discovery days. I believe this month there is a discovery day on, I always forget, hold on here. September 28th is the next discovery day, and we have one on October 19th. If you're not familiar with the discovery day, come on in to the shop, buy a ticket. It's like $25. It covers, we serve coffee, donuts, give you a factory tour. We let you take the bikes out for a test ride, and then we take everybody out for lunch. So it's $25 really well spent. Tours and all, it's a lot of fun, and then you hang out and have lunch together. It's like a little mini rally. If you're interested in checking out a Janus, you're not sure if you want to buy one, but you want to check it out first and see who makes them, come to one of those. Let's see. And then last but not least, I mentioned that last stream that somebody was on from New Hampshire. Was that who was on from? Was it Straw Dog? Was it you I was talking to about all the leaves? Anyway, I dug up. I wrote a little column for our college newspaper. It was kind of like comedy column, and I wrote it about the leaves. And so I went back and found it. And yes, it is fit to be reprinted, or I can actually read it out loud. But I was going to read it for y'all. So this is if you're from New Hampshire, you might find this funny. If you're not, you might also find it funny, or maybe you won't. But this is called my column was called "The Way of the World Continued," and this one was called "Leaf to Leave," and it's in the spirit of the fall foliage. This is comedy. This was not a real reporting. The state of New Hampshire expects 65,000 foliage viewers to visit the Commonwealth this fall. Flocking to the White Mountains, swarming the scenic byways, these fanatic leaf lovers are arriving by bus, plane, automobile, motorcycle, and even canoe. The entire economy of the small township of West Elmsboro relies on the autumn leaves, whose subtle tones they describe as, quote, the color of money, unquote. For several years, the town has been trying to further exploit this phenomenon. Doughty town councilwoman Tribulation Winthrop has even suggested in a recent meeting of the town council the spraying of all trees with a special diluted variation of Agent Orange to bring on the fall colors a little sooner and thereby corner the fall foliage market for at least part of the season. This could prove useful if the non-existent fall of 1958 repeats itself, a thing not even the staunchest old West Elmsboroians can remember without an ill-concealed tremor of fear. However, not every town citizen shares the same feelings on the yearly death of the photosynthetic process. Arnold Klarman, the scowling blue jean-wearing president of the New Hampshire Leaf-Free Lawn League and proud owner of a turbocharged 450 horsepower back-mounted leaf blower, sees leaves not as a money-making enterprise or even a relatively pleasant sight, but a rotting pollution seasonally covering the earth, and more importantly, his lawn. Klarman has been petitioning the town council for the last 8 years to blow the still living leaves off the trees in late August. He wants to blow the leaves into the neighboring town of North Elmsborough, which he hates almost as much as the leaves because of the ignominious defeat he suffered at the hands of their champion in the New Hampshire garden tractor races held earlier this summer. This early defoliation should be no problem, as the range of his and others in his league's leaf blowers is over 3/4 of a mile. Whether downwind of a hurricane-forced leaf blower or stuck in a scenic byway traffic jam, this writer feels that all should share in New Hampshire's passion for the color and effect of dying leaves. Anyway, a little blast from the past. What else? We got more comments here. Sending lots of love from Ohio. Oh yeah, we got that one. Rambling to, oh yeah, we got that. Wait, early? Time to ramble, says Confed Yank. James Chadburn says, can't be done. I still have beer. Nice. Mick Langford says, yes, font on the airbox on the red 250 was my question. It was the Indy custom. Yes, that's right. Grant says, VI picks sold out or very close. Okay, there you go, folks. Better get your VIP ticket in, or just show up and get a regular ticket, or order a regular ticket. Mick Langford says, can't make the rally this year. We'll make 2025. Fantastic. And Confed Yank says, I got to get a job to be able to make it. Well, of course. What are you waiting for? Kelly says, hey, Mick, I'm in Winchester. Do you want to get together sometime? There we go. Now we're talking. Some rambling happening. Awesome. Get together and go for a ramble. And you all have got some lovely riding up there. Straw Dog says, the Leaf story was great. Yeah. All right. Well, it's 7:53. I think we're going to wrap it up early here. We're out of comments. I'm out of stories. And might as well end while you're ahead, as they say. Confed Yank says, I'm waiting for one of these employers to accept me. Yeah, I hear you, man. All right. Well, it has been lovely seeing all of you all. I'm looking forward to the rally this weekend in only a few short days. I know that it'll be great to see more of you all out. And till then, here we go. Wave Shredder is on. Apparently my Rambler watch can't tell time as I'm running late. I missed the unveiling of my Halcyon 459 294, sipping on a Rambler sparkling water. Rambler, really? Was out working on my Phoenix 31. Awesome. Well, I'm wearing my Rambler right now. Just got an email from the folks today at Laurier, and they're wondering what we want to do next. So maybe we'll do another iteration or a variation, or we'll see. We'll see what the plan is. So, Confed Yanks, have a good one, y'all. See ya live on Saturday. Yes, I will. I promise I will put up a link to when we do that. Get that up there sooner than later. Joel says, Richard, would this be a good time to mention the Ramblers contact list? Oh, yeah, it would be. We have a little spare time. Joel, Old Man One, down in Kansas City, has come up with an idea which is similar to something that Charles McGagan has done, which, if you're not familiar, if you're on I think it's mostly on the Facebook group, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can put up where you are on a map, but it's limited to only people who want to do it. And Joel has an idea to do something similar, but make it more accessible to more people. And Joel, if you want to kind of chime in there with any additional information on that, feel free. But basically, we will be helping him to spread the word about that. It'll be another way to make connections. Make connections between Ramblers in different areas. So excited to see that coming down the road. Kelly says, good night all. See you at the rally. Great. Keith Haywood, see you Friday. Thank you and good night. Well, absolutely. Thank you all very much for joining again. Nice turnout this evening, over 70 people. And I will catch you this Saturday and not Monday. Monday I will take off because I'll probably be exhausted from the rally. So no Ramble Stream on Monday next, but there will be one on Saturday morning. Thank you all very much. Take care and ramble on.